Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Academy Answers podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, and happy Monday. And always a pleasure to have you here. This is a podcast that we talk about happiness, success, full potential, becoming your best self, creating and designing a life that you don't want a vacation from, that you are proud of living, that you always dream of, the life that you were thinking about when you had no limitations on yourself, when you were in a fantasy land, when you think it was all possible and you could not think of a way that it could not happen. Fast forward to now when you are so probably entrenched, most of the world is so entrenched in a feeling that there is no way that is possible, and there are some privilege for you. I was in a store the other day, and this guy started to talk about Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy, as saying, what is this guy doing with so much money? This guy is too much money for one person. The world is unfair. Well, who am I to say that? The guy has gone out there and created what he wants for himself, and no matter how much billions Jeff Bezos have, there's no shortage of billions in the world. You too can get yours, and nobody handed him his. He made it. He has gone out there and he has created it. So there's no limitations, and there's no issue on what he is doing in terms of whether it is enough or whether it is not enough, or whether it's this or whether it's that. It's all a matter that he has thought out the whole thing and he has created it. So no one can say he's not deserving it. That's a common type of argument. People talking about, oh, he's too rich, and what is one guy doing so much money, and there's so many people in need. So why don't you take a look back at the backstory? So many people who are in need, who slept until 9 o'clock, chill on the weekends, piss away their money on stupid things, horseplay away their time, idle their time, Netflix their time, drink their time, smoke their time away. And there's another guy who didn't go out, who lived in a crappy apartment, who lived in their car, who never have Netflix, who couldn't wear good clothes, who everybody laughed at, who didn't eat ramen noodles, and sacrificed and pushed against every odds that come in their lives, who lose their girlfriends, who people insulted, who had many failures, and did that for years. And then he's at a point now where he has finally figured it out and made this for himself, made so much before being able now to afford his family stuff, help his parents. And then what an audacity to think that he should distribute it to people who were chilling while he was going through all this mountain of problems and heartaches. Why would he do that, or why should he do that? Why should you get to enjoy all that he had to sacrifice, and then you now, when he has finally made it, come and cash in, have your hands out? That is the stupidest thing. It's like saying you have a plot of land, you don't feel like you should plant anything on the land. You don't have the time, you don't have the drive, you don't think you should bother. And then the guy next door have another plot of land, and he spend the time, toil, hustle, sacrifice, push, build, dig, cultivate, wait, lost a lot of it, and then one of the time his harvest come and it's really good for him, and you're there with your empty plot of land and say, oh, well, he has too much. Why is this guy getting so much? It's unfair. And why guy needs some? But you know what? Whatever somebody has worked for, they deserve it. I don't care if it is too much or it doesn't matter. If they have gone out there and created it for themselves, it cannot be too much for them. And they have that unilateral choice to do whatever they want to do with it. Period, hands down. Let's get into the question, guys. How are you doing this morning? Sorry for that little rant. So the question this morning is, my life is whacked. I feel like I'm physically, emotionally drained. I feel like I've had it. My life is in such a mess. How do I get my life back? My life cannot go this way. I'm in my mid-30s. I need to find a way to pull my life together. Now, can there be any better question? Can there be any better question? Can there be any better question for somebody who has actually caught themselves and decided that, look, I need to talk to somebody about what it is that it's going to take, what it is that it's going to take to get my stuff, my life together before this goes into a whole wrong direction and into a useless life. Because many people live useless life. Many people turn out that they chase the wrong things and end up with nothing. Chase the wrong things or get stuck in the wrong things and end up with nothing. The status quo, actual status quo, is two sets of people mainly. So you'll find 93%, 90 up to 90% of people living this way. People first settling for where they have ended up. Whole majority of the population of the world settle for where they ended up. So they live in a city and they don't like it and they wouldn't move. They have a job, they don't like the feel and they wouldn't change. They have a certain level of a standard of living. They don't like it and they don't want to do anything to change it. Most people settle. Most people settle. Most people find themselves doing something that is bearable, that the mind is used to, that the monkey brain has adjusted to. And they maneuver in that sphere all their life. So there is a little box that the guy they know, the neighbor, their associate, their friends are in. They eat a certain place. They manage to visit a certain place. And their Facebook page have a certain type of lifestyle. And what they do endless maneuvers to touch these lifestyle, to get the photo and to get the dopamine rush and to get the social status. And that's where they stay. It's a box. It's a box with the vacation spot, the promotion, the $2 an hour more, the dining and the car. And it's a nice box that most people fit themselves into. And then there is another great portion of people, percentage of people who think that the world owes them something. So they just do enough to survive. And they're looking for handouts. They're looking for the next charity. They're looking for the next support system that they can lean on. So they're leaning on government benefit for their health. They're leaning on a government food program for their subsistence, for their day-to-day sustenance. And they look anything to cop out. They're trying to get a ticket to the lottery to win big without doing anything. Not saying people don't need assistance. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that people are optimized to get that. So you have people going to work and say, I can't take any more hours because then they're going to cancel my food benefit. Or I can't pay the regular insurance and they're going to cancel my plan if I earn X, so I can't take that job. And that is what the norm is in society. That's what's happening out there for the most part. People settling where they have ended up. People settling at the nearest thing to normal. So what we are doing, or what the majority of people are doing, is they are hardworking, they make the sacrifice, they do what's necessary, they overcome the obstacles to get to a certain threshold. The threshold that gives them the car, the picket fences, the 2.5 children, and the image. The little image that is being protected. And then that's it for them. So when somebody like this reader comes up and say, hey, I don't like my life, I think there's more. So how do you get it together? The first thing is that you have to understand that unless you have a larger vision for your life is likely to be pushed in a direction that you will not be proud of, that you will not be happy for. I mean, real happiness, not the one that you compare to someone else and say, well, you know, it's not so bad. I managed to get myself a house. I have a car. The kids can come and, I did well for myself. I have this good job. Most of my friends at school don't earn what I earn. And all the comparative things that don't matter to you deep down. That deep down in your soul, you're living in quiet desperation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a life that you say, wow, this is what I've created. This is what it feels like to feel like I'm alive, like I contribute to this world, like my life is meaningful. That's the life I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the life that you're justifying. I'm talking about the life that you really, truly feel accomplished and proud of. You must have a larger vision for your life. First thing. Now, that larger vision for your life must be connected with who you really, truly are. Who are you? What do you feel alive doing? What would you do for free? What do you feel most energized and most passionate about? And people can tell you all the things that they want to tell you. But the overarching thing that runs your life is that if you can be true to your gut feeling and to your instincts and to your choices, to what you feel most motivated to do, you'll be the happiest. So you hear the gurus and all the guys who have been rich saying, oh, you just need to find something and it doesn't matter if you're passionate about it, you just need to be committed. Well, how can you maintain a high level of commitment forever, for the most part of your life, if you don't enjoy it? People, when given the choice, default to doing what they love, default to doing what they feel comfortable doing, if they have the resources and the wherewithal to do it, and if they're motivated by a larger vision for their life. Understand that the bigger your comfort zone, this is the next thing, the bigger your comfort zone, the smaller your life. If you establish a huge comfort zone for yourself, your life becomes smaller because you will not grow. So once you have a larger vision for your life as a first step, you understand that you have to get out of all these comfort boxes that you have. The people who you're trying to get their validation, the places that you're trying to feel accepted in, the norms that you're trying to follow, that is opposite where your mind and your heart is going, you have to break those. You have to get around people and ideas that are in line with who you are, that is optimized for that larger vision for your life. And then you need a growth plan. Practically now, you need a growth plan that's going to take you there. There is, I cannot mention enough, I cannot overemphasize the commonality, for want of a better word, or the epidemic levels at which people want things, have desires, but have absolutely no plan and work ethic and commitment to get to these desires. People who want to build businesses and would not take up a book. People who want to be have 1 million followers and would not do the work. There are so many people wishing. The people wishing for success, that line is an endless line. And then there are a few people who this is your goal now. This is the 3 things that I'm going to give you, that the few people who actually get to it actually do. There are few people who have a schedule for success and who have resources, who have a plan, and who are actively working and taking action towards this. There are few people who have a schedule, who is pouring resources, which is time and money, and have a plan, a proven system and model that they're following to get to where they want to get to. That's what you need. You need that larger vision. Then you now need to pour time and effort into that larger vision. What do you do with your time? What do you do with your money? Who you surround yourself with? What's your growth plan? Is that growth plan proven? Those are where your miracles lie. Once you establish that this is where my life should be going, this is what I want to do. I want to teach people how to do X. I want to build this thing and leverage it to change the way they do food, or the way people eat, or the way people buy cars, or the way people buy clothes, or the way people dress, or the way people paint, or the way people build homes. Whatever field you are passionate about, once you have that larger vision that you want to contribute in that way, serve in that way, so that your life can be this way, so that you can wake up at 7 in the morning and you can go to this place, or you don't have to go to this place, and you can do X with your days. You can spend X amount of time with your kids. You can do X amount of projects. Once you plan exactly how you think you want your life to be, you now need to say, okay, what is my schedule? The time I'm going to put into this thing, is that an adequate amount of time? What are my resources? How do I run the system? How do I make this work? How do I add the work in? How do I learn to do it? And who do I surround myself with? And what do I optimize my time and my life for? And once you look at your life, which you have done now, looking at your life saying, hey, this is not working. What do I need to do? Now, once you establish a larger vision, now you need that schedule and that plan. How many hours per week am I going to spend doing this thing? How many hours per week am I going to spend learning? Where is the proven system that I'm following? What is the blueprint towards doing this thing and getting my life to look like this? A model of what you want your life to look like. So a larger vision will have that. Where am I going? What do I want my life to look like? And it will not be perfect, but at least you will be on a path that you are proud to be on, that is optimized to something that you have designed for yourself, instead of ending up with living your life, it being a result of other people's thinking and something that you didn't want. And I will end with a quote from the Russian revolutionist, Leon Trotsky, I think the guy is. He says that life is not an easy matter. You cannot live through it without falling into frustrations, cynicisms. But unless you have before you a great idea which raises you above personal misery, above weakness, and above all kind of perfidy and baseness. Life is not an easy matter. You cannot live through it without falling into frustrations and cynicism, unless you have before you a great idea which raises you above personal misery, above weaknesses, and above all perfidy and baseness. That larger vision for your life is what is the thing to hold you up above and to push you and pull you beyond all the weaknesses, all the frustrations, all the cynicism, and all the perfidy and baseness. Decide that you will get out of the race to the bottom that the majority of society is in, and have before you a vision for what you want your life to be. Believe in that vision, because I can promise you one thing, and I'll end right now. I can promise you one thing, is that your pursuit of that vision will afford you a better life than a life of ease, comfort zone, and settling. Even if you don't get to those goals, you'll live a better life pursuing and believing that your life is meant to be a certain way, and you have the responsibility to design that way. Have a good day, guys. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, Louis Motivated Car. Always a pleasure. Thank you, guys.